Hello and welcome to the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast, formerly known as the Atomic Cricket Podcast. I am Chirunandhan Srinath. Joining me is Rakesh Rao, sir. Sit back as we talk about the T20 World Cup that is in a month's time. It's being hosted in the US and the Caribbean islands. Uh, India have named the 15-member squad uh, for the T20 World Cup. Rakesh, sir, if I were to ask you, answer me in just one or two words. Is the squad good enough to win this World Cup? Personally, I feel it is a great team, although there have
Yes,
been some surprise inclusions and exclusions. Your take on the team in one word or a two-word sentence?
the first word is yes. This team is capable of returning with the cup. Yes. My take on the thing, I see. I'm left with kind of mixed feeling here because on one hand, I feel that yes, the team has it in it to go and win it because we have always had we were always spoiled for choice. But here in this case, I would have still loved to see an off spinner because I still feel that we're taking Akshar and Ravindra Jadeja. That's a luxury because only one out of these two are going to play, and not having an off spinner, a specialist off spinner there, and that too when you see so many lefties, in every other country. Uh, I mean, mostly those where who are in serious contention, so I think we could have had an off spinner, and I would have definitely gone because if it was not for Sundar, and then I would have definitely gone with Ashwin.
I think Washington Sundar is not getting matches to play for the
Opportunities
Sunrise.
also, yeah, that
Yes,
is true. That is true. But then I'm just looking at it. I mean, I'm just taking an overview
yes,
that what was available in the sense that if you look at the kind of people that who have made debut for India in the last say, I mean, at least we can go back 3 years, or we can just look at it from say the last World Cup, or including the year in which the last World Cup was held. Say if we start with uh, uh say about 2022, if you ask me. So since 22, a good number of people, including Avesh Khan and Deepak Huda and Umran Malik and Ashdeep, all the fast bowlers, Shivam Mavi, they all have done their debut. But then you don't see them except Arshdeep making a comeback, which for me was a surprise because I didn't keep him in the loop here. I said probably he was not being looked at, but then that was a surprise. But overall, I think that they've gone with experience. It's very clear because see, we have been testing out people in the T20 internationals regularly. Say, since the last World Cup, if I say Shivam Mavi, Shubman Gill, Mukesh Kumar, Tilak Verma, Yashasvi, then Prasidh Krishna, Rinku Singh, then Sai Kishore, Jitesh, and Shahbaz Ahmed. All these people have made their debuts after the last World Cup. And where are those people now? I mean, Rinku, for some reason, has been left out, yes, but where are the rest of the guys? I mean, if you see the last World Cup's team and this year's team, you only have Jaiswal as a new face. Otherwise, it's the same names there. You remove KL Rahul and you put like Jaiswal there, and you'll see more or less the same team.
yes, sir.
At least the
On a
top order.
on a lighter note, when yesterday
Mm.
during the press conference they asked Rohit Sharma, you do not have any off spinner in the team. He's raising his hand. On a lighter note.
Yeah, I know that. I saw that also. But the point is that uh, I'm not. I mean, I'm not
You know,
very sure when he says that four spinner, his theory, which is okay. I mean, then he's obviously expecting the pitches in West Indies to offer a lot of turn, and he contradicted himself. If you remember, he started off by saying we don't know how the wickets are going to be, and then subsequently and very shortly thereafter, he says, pitches are going to spin there. So that's why we have lots of options. We have different combinations of spinners and blah, 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 and whatever. But the point is that if you think the pitches in West Indies, are going to offer a lot of spin, and then we can have the luxury of going in with two spinners or maybe up to three spinners also, depending on, like he said, depending on the opposition and the surface and the conditions or whatever. But I think it's still a luxury to have those many. And then because you took that one extra spinner in the 15, that means you have almost made it very, very clear that the three specialist fast bowlers are going to play in practically every match without a break. Because I don't see you going with only two fast bowlers and then keeping, Hardik as a serious option there. Because Hardik, you still don't know which side of the bed he, gets up from. You really don't know because he's a kind of a blow hot, blow cold sort of a player. And I mean, look at the faith. I mean, both the captain and the chief selector, they kept saying, my God, the kind of value that he brings to the table. I agree. We are a country of more than 35 first class teams. Every team has at least one all rounder. And when it comes to looking for the Indian team, we can't find a second one. We just have one fast bowling option who is considered an all rounder. Shivam Dubey hasn't been given those many opportunities to bowl. And of course, he's there. I don't think he'll get to bowl. Looking at what Rohit and Ajit Agarkar had to indicate, but overall, I still feel this. Yeah, okay. I mean, with three fast bowlers, you have the resources. That means 12 overs of pace. You add another four from Hardik, so you can deal with that. If you're going with wrist spinners there, again you have three left arm spinners, out of which one is a wrist spinner. Then you have a leg spinner. So he's also another, like wrist spinner there. So of course you have the option. You have the variety, which I can see where Rohit is coming from. He must have insisted on this particular plan. Having said all this, I still feel that on wickets where if there is no assistance, for example, we are also going to play in America, in New York, where you are going to use the drop-in surfaces, which is like pre-made. It is already made and it's being shipped from place A to place B. There don't expect much because it'll be flat, completely flat. I don't think there your the spin twin are going to be affected. Yes, if it offers uniform and very consistent sort of a bounce, then I do expect the spinners to have something there. Because often I've heard from spinners that we don't necessarily look for a pitch that offers substantial turn, even if it is turning just a bit. But if it is offering us bounce, that is also good enough for us to take wickets. But then that I think applies more to the red ball cricket, and I think in white ball, number one, white ball doesn't. I mean, you don't grip the ball as well uh, as you do with a red ball there. So that's one, and the same thing with the ball gripping the kind of surface which you are going to get, say in America and in the Caribbeans there. So there will be moments where I think Indians could struggle, but yes, as a starting point, I think we shouldn't have too many complaints.
There are a lot of things to discuss. You have told so much, sir. But we'll go one by one in
Yeah,
detail.
yeah,
There was a lot of eyebrows raised when the team was announced because Rinku Singh was excluded from the squad. Is a great finisher,
yeah,
and if you look at his stats in international cricket, he has played 15 matches. Is
yeah,
having an average of 89. His strike rate is
yeah,
176. Shivam Dubey has come in
yeah.
instead of him. Yes. Is it because Dubey is also an all-rounder? Yes, he's performed exceptionally in the IPL for Chennai Super Kings. Chennai Super Kings is making his comeback. But Rinku Singh over Dubey, where is the tip?
See, Chiru, what has happened is that this selection committee and the captain, they have gone with two things. I think one is obviously form, and the second one, when you compare Dubey with Rinku, I think Rinku lost out on that position. He missed out because he doesn't bowl. Because again, the thinking is not against Rinku. The thinking is that let's have somebody who can also bowl a bit. Now if you look at these two guys, I don't see Dubey bowl as much as we have been given to understand. Probably he won't be required to bowl his 4 overs unless, of course, you field him in against say US or something. That's a different matter. But I'm looking at the bigger matches ahead, not the first set of league matches, which includes Ireland and Pakistan as well. But Pakistan, of course, besides that game, I don't think the other two games you'll have to even field your best team to win. But yes, Ireland you can't take them, like lightly, which no team would, because you're just starting your campaign. So you will be fielding your best 11 there. But having said that, coming back to your question here about Shivam getting the nod, it is yes. I think they've gone with the current form, and let's also see that Rinku hasn't made the same impression which he made last year. And again, the selectors have been very clear, and they've been repeating themselves by saying that look, nothing against Rinku, and our thinking has been that we needed somebody down there. So they haven't really gone with a finisher kind of a uh, attitude, because they never mentioned that we were looking for somebody to finish the match, because they expect somebody like Hardik or even somebody like Sky or somebody to come and finish the game for them. So that is all fine. But that's what I think about Rinku's exclusion there.
And one more thing that has really made me very happy, sir, was Rishabh Pant coming back on his feet in the
Yeah.
international arena. He'll be
Yeah.
keen to perform well, score runs, keep wickets for India is obviously for the first choice wicket keeper. Sanju Samson is the second choice wicket keeper. He's coming, he's having an amazing IPL season, but he has come at the cost of KL Rahul. It was a shock to me when I heard that Rahul isn't being part of the team. And in the press conference yesterday, Ajit Agarkar said that they were looking at the middle order slots and they felt Sanju Samson was a better fit. KL Rahul can bat down the order, but right now is opening. That's what they said. Your take on this, sir?
See, first about Rishabh Pant. See, Rishabh, much like Hardik Pandya, was away from the game. I mean, he hadn't been in action for more than 400 days. Very happy for him, no doubt about it. He has come back very strongly, and he looks impressive, no doubt about it. So his inclusion, no matter what I think about, I mean, just going purely by IPL games, because if you have heard both Rohit and Ajit, they keep saying that, or at least yesterday they kept saying that, there is a difference in playing IPL and international cricket. Okay, fine. Now, if that is also true, equally true there, then you have given an option. You have just looked at the fitness and form of somebody in IPL. Of course, his fitness looks great to me. I mean, nobody could even give even half an instance to show that, look, he's not looking fit. He's looking absolutely ready for it. So very happy for him to be back. And again, it's an emotional one there, because the whole nation wanted to see him back there, and the wishes of millions and millions of followers of the sport, and of course the kind of value that he brings to the team. He's much like Sky. I feel he's. I mean, he can be pretty hot one day, and someday he can just come and he won't trouble the scorer. So yes, that is a chance that you need to take in a short game. Had the same team been selected, say, for a 50-over World Cup, I wouldn't have said that he's ready to take the load. But yes, 4 overs. I mean, 20 over each side, because of course he has to keep and he has to be on his feet all the time for 40. I mean, so for those 20 overs behind the stumps, and then whatever time he spends, in front of the stumps. So again, very very happy for him. I mean, he's a youngster, as you said. He brings in a lot of enthusiasm in the unit, and yeah, that the exuberance youth is always good to find in the dressing room, because he'll bring in a very different element to the rest of the team and the team's atmosphere. That's A. Now you look at Sanju Samson. Now Sanju Samson, I've spoken to people, selectors, former selectors who've been there say since 2015. That was when Samson made his debut. Uh, See, 25 matches in 9 years. People say that he hasn't got opportunities in the past. My thing is that how many people in this country have played 25 matches, no matter what was the duration between the first and the 25th match. I'm saying 25 opportunities. What have you done? You have just given us 150. That means what you are doing is you are giving the impression that when the stakes are high, when you're playing for the country, you're not the same. Now, here, because of your form and confidence which you are enjoying right now, you deserve a place. If you ask me, yes, because the thinking of the selectors and the captain is such that we are going to use you in the middle order. He's not going to be coming, say, any way, ahead of, say, somebody like Virat at number three, or even by you are not going to push Virat down and say, okay, you go at number three, which is your spot. So it will not be the same. And also, I feel I don't see necessarily Rishabh and Samson playing the same match, because then you are telling me that Samson is among the top six batters in the country today. That means you're going to either drop one of the specialist batters in preference to, say, Samson. Yeah, if for whatever reason they want to give Rishabh a break against weaker countries, say for example, if against, say, in one of the league matches, not against Pakistan though, you decide to give
USA.
Samson a chance and give Rishabh a break, it is okay. But overall, I still feel that I mean Samson is not going to be your first choice. So if Rishabh plays and Samson doesn't play, and I'm not expecting to see much of Samson in the World Cup.
And if we already talked about this, the spinners. There are four spinners in the squad. There's Chahal, who's
Yep.
making a comeback after playing his last T20I in August 2023. Yeah, Ravindra Jadeja, Axar Patel, who can bat as well. And there is Kuldeep Yadav. Uh, my question to you, sir,
Yep.
how many spinners do you play in the 11 and who are they, your first preference spinners?
See, for me, Jadeja plays in the playing 11 irrespective of what your combination is going to be. When I say combination, I mean the spin combination. He's going to be a regular, he's going to be a constant. As long as Jadeja plays, Akshar doesn't play. Now, if you are going in with, say, three fast bowlers and two spinners, that is five, and one wicket keeper, six, and then five specialist batters from the top. If that is what is going to be a combination, then I'd rather go with Kuldeep and Yuzvendra Chahal. That means I'm going in with three spinners and three fast bowlers there. Um, of course, if and I also don't see. I'm just adding one line here that I don't expect Shivam and Hardik to play the same match, unless one of the guys, say Sky or somebody, is not doing well, and then Shivam comes in there. Otherwise, that's not going to happen. But coming back to your question of the spin combination, uh, because Jadeja being a constant, Akshay doesn't come in. I mean, I can't imagine we strengthening our batting at, say, number eight. Also, you need somebody at number eight. Then, of course, Rishabh goes down further, or if Rishabh stays at his spot, that means Akshar comes at number eight. So, in a T20 game, if you need a guy who can bat at eight, that means your top six batters at least, because when he walks in, you would have lost six wickets. They are not doing their job. So, Jadeja, if he's not available, Akshar coming in, that makes sense to me. Because that's a luxury which we have, because we are taking a substitute for Ravindra Jadeja. So that makes hell of a lot of difference to me. So let's see how things pan out.
And so if I have a look at your fingers, if I have a look at my fingers or your fingers, if the
Yeah.
spin department is as good and as fat as a thumb, I feel the pace department is as thin and as lean as this little finger. Because
Yeah.
sorry for
Yeah, that's right.
sorry for that
We
comparison,
do
but
have.
yes, I'm a very big fan of Mohammad Siraj. I'm a very, very big
Yeah.
fan of Siraj. But looking at his IPL performance, I'm scared, at his T20 World Cup inclusion. You have Arshdeep
Yes.
Singh talking about Siraj. Yes, he's a very good bowler with the new ball. He makes a good pair with Bumrah. Uh, but I'm really scared with Siraj. And in the reserves, you have Avesh Khan. There is Khalil as well. I'm surprised why couldn't Natrajan or someone make into the team.
Good one, because I felt that instead of Siraj, I would have gone with like Natrajan there very clearly, because Siraj overall somehow he doesn't give me the confidence in his current form. He is a rhythm sort of a guy, you know. I mean, if he gets his rhythm right, then he's almost unplayable. He can make the ball talk. But how often do you see Siraj hitting that kind of line and attacking the stumps? He can give you the impression that once he gets hit early in the over, then the rest of the over, it's like a deer staring at the headlights. There, it's completely loses his way. He doesn't know what to do next, and he gets smashed. So that is where I think I would have gone with somebody like Natarajan, because Natarajan, for me, one, of course, the option of having a left armer there. And then also, if you look at somebody, like Arshdeep, for example, again, Arshdeep can also be, he can go without any, like sort of a like direction. I don't know what happens to him. Uh, that is where, I feel that except Bumrah in the pace department, in the absence of Mohammad Shami, both these guys lack discipline. The number of wides that these two guys are capable of bowling, it is absolutely shocking for me. So that's my area of concern with this team. That especially in the IPL, and I'm not just talking about two fast bowlers here, fast bowlers in general across 10 teams with so much of thinking going on. Tell me, do you think the bowling wide Yorkers and staying out of the batter's arc, no matter who the batter is, be it a set batsman, a top order batter, or a lower order batter, or even a tailender or an all rounder? The idea is to only nail that wide Yorker. Is that the only delivery left in your arsenal which you can try? Can't you bowl, back of the, like arm, like delivery? That at least I don't get to see that. The change of pace you don't see. You are only trying to nail that Yorker, which Arshdeep tries, which Siraj tries, because we're talking about these two guys, and they get it woefully wrong. I mean, they end up bowling more number of full tosses than you get to see. I mean, wides also, because then you are taking such risks. You are required to bowl not a 6 ball over, but you end up bowling a 7 or a 8 ball over for sure. So I think that is where I think the bowling coach and those who are assisting the bowling coach need to do a lot of work with these guys. But then eventually, the execution lies, in the hands of the bowler in question. So yes, I that is my concern, and wish we had another Jasprit Bumrah, because he much like Kuldeep is also focusing on how to bat. That's a very good sign for me, because I've maintained this for a long time that if you look at our World Cup winning teams in the past, bowlers could bat and batters could bowl. And this is something which I haven't seen in the recent past also. And if you look at the 20, I mean, the World Cup 6 months ago, again, the same issue. You lose early wickets, then then your long tail comes into play. So again, that is an issue. So neither Arshdeep nor Siraj can bat or give you the confidence that if, say, in the last 2 overs, if you need, say, something like 15 runs, these guys can give you those 15 runs. I don't think so.
And yeah, talking about the openers, Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, there's been a lot of
Yeah.
criticism over why not Ruturaj Gaikwad. For me, it was not a surprise why Ruturaj Gaikwad was not included. I have my personal take on this that he has a he's having a good run in the IPL. He's leading the orange cap race as well. He has a decent strike rate as well. But one thing that I think the reason why he didn't get into the team was because he starts things slow and he doesn't have that explosiveness in the power play. That is my personal opinion, but I don't think how far the judgment is good or wrong. What is your take on Rutraj Gaikwad is not included in this squad, sir?
See, the if you look at the top, there was already a case for somebody like Rahul, Shubman, Jaiswal, Ruturaj. Now, the thing is that out of these four names, if you're looking for a left-hander at the top, that is where Jaiswal comes in. He gives you that option that he can do a lot. He can give you that left-right uh, combination at the top. Then you can also see something like that having left-handers in the top six or top seven. Here you have a Jadeja walking in at the time also. So you don't have too many left-handers in there. So Jaiswal you couldn't have sacrificed there, and of course he's now playing almost all the formats. And Shubman Gill, or say somebody like Ruturaj or KL Rahul, they lost out mainly because of that. Because Jaiswal is a young guy. At least in the last 1 year, the way he has shown his form, you couldn't have dropped him. I mean, that would have been most unfair. That you either you keep him in the 15 and not play him. That would have been bad also. But I think here I feel that Jaiswal needed his spot, and I think that was a good one. It was a good call. But then, of course, then if he comes in and Rohit being the captain, he has to open with him. So obviously, you can't carry too many openers there. And then there was one more line from the chief selector saying that Samson can play anywhere. Now, the same line could have been applied to Rahul
Yeah.
also. Rahul, if you ask him to bat anywhere down the order, he would have done the same. So overall, Gaikwad, because Gaikwad, we know that he is a pure opener. So he couldn't have been included in the team if you are looking at a left-right combination. And then you mentioned about his slow starts. But then slow start, then if we go by that yardstick, even Virat Kohli will fall in that same category. We know that even he's not an explosive starter. And especially now that people have realized that left arm spin is one area where Virat is not very comfortable early in his innings. So people are going to, if they have somebody, a good left arm spinner there, I think then they are going to put them right there. So a lot of things can happen overall. But yes, Ruturaj losing out is not a surprise. But yes, I feel sad for him because people, on one hand, were going purely by the IPL form, and going by that yardstick, he should have been in.
The next question, as you mentioned already, Virat Kohli, we'll bring that question forward. So, as Virat Kohli really shut down the criticism over his strike rate and playing the spinners, because in his last match against Gujarat Titans, he played the spinners well, and then he even in the post-match conference he said that he mentioned about this strike rate and spinners problems. According to me, I think he's a man that can shift gears. He plays according to the team needs. He might not be striking at 200 plus strike rate, but whenever necessary, he can. That's what I think he's capable of. You think people are unnecessary brewing over his strike rate, or is it a matter of concern?
First of all, who are these people who are talking about his slow strike rate? The social media?
Social media.
I mean, me and you with a social media account can have our opinion no matter whatever it is worth. We can just mention it. We can air it. We can then say, what is trending these days? I mean, since morning, it is Virat Kohli's strike rate. I mean, I find it absolutely rubbish. Are you even capable of, rubbishing? I mean, bringing down somebody just because he's a slow starter? It's a T20 game, and you need somebody now, somebody like Virat. Like Virat has shown it repeatedly that his role over the last two seasons have been more of a kind of anchoring the inning. His job is to stay till the end. That is what you see him do. He is a slow starter. Yes, his first 50 can take about 35 balls also. But if he can stay put, then you see how he moves from the 51 to 100 in quick time, or 51 to 80, or 51 to whatever is the remaining of that target, that will come in quick time. We see, let's not make this mistake of, looking at somebody like Virat and his contribution by his slow strike rate. We have all been swayed by statistics here, because the statistics are not reflecting the man's experience and his utility to this team. What he can do by coming in at number three and holding on to his wicket as long as he possibly can, he can, keep the opposition on the back foot, because they know this guy is capable of using the long handle anytime. Don't, if you don't get him out early in his innings, then you are in trouble. So there are so many things, more to Virat than just his slow initial strike rate. So I think too much has been made out of this. I don't even subscribe to it. I don't even air my views on this usually, because I think it's a very silly argument, and nobody who has played the sport or somebody who knows more about it has anything or any qualms about even any issues with Virat's strike rate. This is just to create a kind of a conversation, a kind of a buzz on the social media. And to be very honest with you, beyond the point, I don't go by what is there on the social media, though I also keep track of it. But I kind of, most of it I just dismiss, because I think it's not even worth wasting your time.
Uh, And looking at the schedule of the matches in the group stage we had, you already mentioned, sir,
Yeah.
that except for Pakistan, there's actually no competition. First, we play with Ireland.
Yeah.
They can surprise you a bit. Let's not be overconfident, but after Ireland, we have with Pakistan, and then we have with United States of America, and then last year with I
Then you
think
have Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
So I think it should
Yeah.
boost our
That is in
confidence.
Florida again. Yeah.
At the same time, we should not be overconfident, because it has affected us in the past. Uh,
Yeah, the last time the World Cup was held in that region, we didn't do too well. But the point is
uh,
that,
2000.
yeah, I mean, this particular group is designed to see India and Pakistan go through. So there's not much here. There will be, I mean, teams like, say, US, Canada, and Ireland. It will be, because see, Ireland, I expect India to field a full team. Against Pakistan, again, full team. If we have full points from these two matches, then you could see those in the 15 getting an opportunity ahead of. I mean, I'm just saying that the best 11 is not required to be fielded against these two. But then, if those among those who are sure to play in the first 11, if they don't show form in the first two, then make no mistake, you'll have to field your best team there, just to give opportunities for those guys who are not able to strike well and stuff. But then again, having played your league stage in the US and then the rest of the games there, uh, it becomes a slightly difficult proposition, because the nature of the surface is in these two countries. So it's like you just divide your campaign into two parts. The US leg is going to look a lot different. So yes, but then at the same time, once the World Cup starts, once you start playing games which are part of the World Cup, no matter where you're playing, uh, you take those matches differently, and every run scored is an international run. Every wicket taken is an international wicket. So that is like motivation enough for you. But yes, these matches, I do see people who will otherwise won't get an opportunity in the first 11 can get to play, say, on June 12 and June 15 against US and Canada, so to say.
So I want to ask, what is your 11, first 11? So I will tell you mine before that, so that I can give you some
Okay.
time to decide. I've already written down, so it'll be easier for me.
Okay.
Opening, obviously, Rohit Sharma, Jaiswal, and then at 3 I have Virat Kohli. Pant at number
Hmm.
4. I think they can interchangeably Suryakumar Yadav at number 5. Then Jadeja, Kuldeep, Bumrah, Harshdeep, and Siraj. I'm thinking to play three paces, or maybe
Okay.
include Dubey and exclude. I don't think. I think the first 11 is right.
Okay. For me, it's quite simple. I won't give you the 11. I'll remove the 4
Ah,
from the 15, so that'll become even easier.
easy.
In my playing 11, I'm going to leave out Akshar Patel, Sanju Samson.
Hmm.
Then I'll leave out mm, Siraj and Shivam Dubey. So I'll go
Yes.
with three fast bowlers, including Hardik Pandya, and then the spinners, spin of Jadeja, Kuldeep, and Chahal. That's my playing 11, the first playing 11. Leave out
So
these
three
four
spinners.
names. Yeah,
Okay.
I will leave out Siraj, but
Now,
looking at the kind of thinking that Rohit has or Rahul has, I think they are going to keep either Chahal or Kuldeep and include Siraj. But 10 members of my team are going to play as the first 11 for sure.
so as we come to this later part of the episode, we'll shift to another interesting
Yeah,
topic. We want to discuss about the
yeah,
IPL, about IPL teams scoring 250 plus 220 plus consistently. So far,
yeah,
eight times have an IPL team score 280 plus this season itself. As a bowler myself,
yeah,
life was good back when 180 plus was a winning score. A lot of people like high
yeah.
scoring games, but few people who watch their support for bowlers, I think we like low scoring thrillers. What do you like, sir?
Yeah.
High scoring games or low scoring thrillers?
See, as long as it is close, I'm happy. At least that keeps the interest alive. It's like if you recall what happened in the game between RR and SRH last night. The same match could have been a 190 game or a 180 game, and with 2 runs needed of the last ball, I think anytime it's exciting because for me, run scoring. I mean, there's nothing wrong in teams going big. I mean, not so long ago, I remember telling somebody that it has become fashionable for the bowlers. I mean, for the skippers the losing skipper to come and say, yeah, we were 15, 20 runs short, no matter how much they've put on the board. I said, I'll be very surprised. I won't be very surprised if very soon people are hitting 200 and still saying that, we were still 20 runs short. And I think that day has almost arrived now. Because if you look at the matches involving SRH, I'm not focusing on other teams because I think SRH has set this kind of a benchmark now that with
Again, it's bad
their
comments, sir.
with their depth, yeah, they can actually go on scoring 200 runs on par. Unfortunately, they don't have the bowling resources. Otherwise, they would have won matches by a mile. And most of the time, what you see is a team batting first is looking good to score 200, irrespective of the opposition's attack. Um, but here, if you see SRH scoring, so consistently, I was quite impressed by the way they went about their task. Right from say the matches like right from the one against KKR to start with, they had scored 200 against MI. They scored a 200. Then they had a couple of 160s and 180 and all. But then again, they were back on the boil there, scoring runs like again against SRH like 287, with DC 266. Then it was RCB which got a 206 against them. Then CSK got a 212 against them. So if you look at the previous two matches, then the one that they won yesterday, it was their bowlers who conceded more than 200 runs. So what I'm trying to say here is that scoring 200 runs is fine, but then if you're also capable of conceding 200 runs, then you are in serious trouble. So this is what CSK, RCB has been doing for so long, that that is one team which I've always maintained that with their kind of 11, they can score a 200 against any team. If they bat first, they are capable of scoring 200 runs. But the problem with that team is that the bowlers are equally confident of conceding that 1 run extra that makes the winning difference. So SRH is going the same way because the bowlers are not. See, the difference between, say, RCB and SRH, again, talking about conceding 200 runs or talking about 200 runs getting on the board, is that SRH has good quality of bowlers who are not bowling well. They're bowling without a plan. Like last night, what we saw with SRH was disappointing, seriously disappointing. Their bowlers went all over the park consistently from the first over. First 6 overs, average was 10 runs. Up to the 19th over, I mean, up to the 18th over, the average was still 9 runs. I mean, they were conceding with almost 10 runs an over. So they did not bring down the required run rate at any point. It is just that towards the end, that 19th over made a difference where they fumbled a bit, they lost wickets in a heap. And then, of course, in the last over, they almost won it because at least 2 runs came off every ball. So they could have and should have won that. But then talking about these 200 runs thing, which of course, but in between we didn't see it happening almost every day because there was a slight gap, and that itself became a sort of a, people started talking about it, that how come we are not seeing 200 runs, because even yesterday's match we didn't see 200, day before yesterday also we didn't see 200.
Yes.
But then 200 is something which will be scored as we go along. As you said, there was like 180 was considered a winning score, no longer, because of the, of course, because here, because of the impact player rule also, it makes a difference. Bowler, I mean, teams will go in with an extra batter when they are, chasing, or when they are batting first. And when they bowl, they'll obviously have, like a bowling option up front. So I think things are going to see that, I mean, this you'll see more in IPL. Don't make no mistake, because in
National.
international crickets, the rules are slightly different. So you can't have the same kind of rules or the same kind of pitches, where the guys are going, you know, really, like hammer and tongs. That won't happen. But yes, we do see the possibility of, say, a team like England, team like India, team like even Australia. Not so much New Zealand, although New Zealand is a very dangerous side. I've always maintained that. The most understated, underwhelmed sort of a side. But when it comes to the crux, if you look at their history, they have made
Silent killer.
semifinals so many times of the ICC events, which people don't bother to remember. But yes, but all other teams, if you look at it, including Pakistan, I don't see them, scoring heavily, because they don't have the resources. So again, the World Cup is all about the top three teams, or maybe New Zealand being the fourth team. That's about it. So that's why, teams like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all these teams which have done well in the past, they don't inspire much confidence. West Indies, for example, they all have been former champions. I mean, we are looking at, champions of the ICC events. I'm talking about Sri Lanka, West Indies, and all. South Africa, yes, that is one team that could be a dark horse. But then when it comes to the crunch, they somehow they do not deliver. But again, I don't want to dwell too much into the past, but then I feel that they have the resources to win because it's a shortest duration, the kind of format which we have here. That's where I feel that a lot of teams are capable of staging an upset, because the moment the format becomes longer, the favorite becomes stronger. So the difference between the best and the rest, that also gets shrunk when the format is, shorter. So every team believes that, look, we have a chance to upset. A team like Bangladesh would start believing that, yes, we can beat England, we can beat X, we can beat Y. Say a team like Afghanistan stunned England in a 50 over game, which was, for me, was a huge surprise, like last year. But then again, come T20, that team is capable, because then they play as though they don't fear anybody. So a lot of teams like that in the shortest format, we are likely to see a few upsets. But again, coming back to this, I think uh, 200 runs which we saw in the IPL will not be the case. I mean, the frequency with which we have seen 200 plus in IPL, I don't think we are going to have those many, or of course, those many will be like really saying too much. Not even half the number, or even a quarter of the numbers of teams chasing down 200 and stuff like that. I don't see that happening in a hurry.
But at least in IPL, if this onslaught on bowlers continues,
Yeah,
is it going to become like the best bowler in the IPL is a bowler who's having an economy of 9 or 10 because
possible,
they're getting
possible,
smashed and butchered
possible,
all over the park.
possible. And it also depends on which part of the innings you're coming into bowl. If you're bowling upfront in the first six, or then in the last four, you are asking for trouble, because the batters are going to go after you. The middle over guys can still survive a bit, because that's where they take a breather of sorts. And not every team is capable of hitting 200. Even in this World Cup, when we are talking about 200, how many teams have actually crossed 200 or posted 200? If you see the number of different teams, if you see the number of times it has been scored, it is mostly
Well, more.
SRH.
It's been
SRH,
more
if you
by
see,
SRH.
yeah, because SRH is setting the pace. And in this World Cup, I mean, I'm sorry, in this IPL, which team has conceded most number of runs? I think it should be SRH again, closely followed by RCB probably.
Uh, and with this, we'll come to the end of this week's episode. Tune in and follow our podcast where we're listening this on. Please do rate and review our podcast on Apple Music and Spotify. It will help us a lot. Thank you, Rakesh sir, for coming. Thank you. Signing off. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.